The Munich Massacre, a tragic event that unfolded during the 1972 Summer Olympics, stands as a haunting chapter in the history of international sports. On September 5, 1972, a group of Palestinian terrorists from the organization Black September infiltrated the Olympic Village in Munich, Germany, taking Israeli athletes hostage. The culmination of the crisis resulted in the brutal killing of 11 Israeli athletes and coaches, marking a turning point in Olympic security measures and forever altering the perception of the Games. The setting, a global stage for tragedy. The 1972 Summer Olympics were intended to be a celebration of athletic excellence and international unity. The Olympic Village, designed to foster camaraderie among athletes from around the world, became the backdrop for an unthinkable act of terrorism. The Israeli delegation, along with other nations, was housed in the village, creating an atmosphere of harmony that would be shattered in the early hours of September 5th. The attack unfolds. In the pre-dawn hours, 8 members of Black September scaled the fence surrounding the Olympic Village, armed with assault rifles and grenades. Their primary target was the Israeli quarters. Bursting into the apartments where the athletes and coaches were sleeping, the terrorists took 9 Israelis hostage, killing 2 immediately in the struggle. They demanded the release of 234 Palestinian prisoners held in Israel, as well as the release of 2 German terrorists. Tense negotiations and failed rescue attempt. As news of the hostage situation spread, the world watched in horror. The German authorities, ill-equipped to handle a terrorist crisis of this magnitude, engaged in tense negotiations with the perpetrators. Meanwhile, an ill-fated attempt to rescue the hostages at a nearby airfield ended in disaster. All of the hostages, along with 5 terrorists and 1 German police officer, lost their lives during the failed rescue operation. Impact on the Olympics and global response. The Munich Massacre sent shockwaves through the Olympic community and the world. The Games were suspended for a day as a mark of respect for the victims, and a memorial service was held in the Olympic Stadium. The tragedy prompted a reassessment of security protocols for international sporting events, leading to the establishment of dedicated security forces for future Olympics. Memorializing the fallen. In the aftermath of the Munich Massacre, the families of the victims and the global community mourned the loss of innocent lives. Various memorials were erected to honor the memory of the 11 Israeli athletes and coaches who perished that day. The International Olympic Committee, IOC, also commemorates the Munich 11 at each subsequent Summer Games. The legacy, strengthening Olympic security. The Munich Massacre left an enduring legacy, forcing the Olympic movement to confront the vulnerability of the Games to acts of terrorism. Subsequent host cities implemented enhanced security measures, including the establishment of dedicated counter-terrorism units. The tragic events of 1972 underscored the importance of prioritizing the safety of athletes and spectators during major international sporting events. Unfinished business. Remembering Munich. 11. Despite calls for a moment of silence during the opening ceremonies of the Olympics to remember the Munich 11, the IOC took decades to officially acknowledge the tragedy. It wasn't until the 2016 Rio Olympics that a moment of silence was observed during the official memorial ceremony, honoring the memory of the athletes and coaches who lost their lives in Munich. Conclusion: a permanent stain on Olympic history. The Munich Massacre remains a permanent stain on the history of the Olympic Games. Beyond the realm of sports, it serves as a stark reminder of the geopolitical tensions that can infiltrate even the most celebratory of global events. The tragic loss of life in 1972 continues to influence security measures at the Olympics, ensuring that the Games, while a celebration of human achievement, are also fortified against those who would seek to exploit them for nefarious purposes.